I am at the Amtrak station in San Antonio, Texas, where we are waiting for the Sunset Limited to move out before we board the Texas Eagle. As the sun begins to rise over the I-35 corridor, the train makes its way to its first stop in San Marcos, Texas. Although I've driven this route many of times, to me there is nothing that is better than sitting back, relaxing on a train. The last time I rode the Texas Eagle, it still had the traditional dining menu. Although I miss being able to order the railroad French toast, I have to admit the breakfast sandwich that I received from the flexible dining menu was quite tasty. After breakfast, I go to the Sightseer Lounge, where the early morning sunlight casts a nice glow throughout the car, and I sit and enjoy my cup of coffee as we near our stop in Austin. We arrive in Austin, making our way through Butler Metro Park, where even at this time of the morning, people are out enjoying the park and playing golf. We then cross the beautiful Colorado River, getting closer to the Austin Amtrak station. Of course, going across Colorado River reminds me of the California Zephyr train, which makes its way along the same river over 900 miles away. After arriving at the station in Austin, I get an Uber to the state capitol for some sightseeing. I still have a couple of hours before I need to make my way over to the Austin Steam Train Association to ride the Tipsy Train. The grounds of the Texas State Capitol are well kept and inviting. Bronze statues, cannons, and memorials sprinkle the lawn, educating visitors of Texas history. The building itself is getting a major uplift, including more than 700 windows being repaired and stabilized. The exterior masonry is being cleaned and inspected, and stonework being replaced where needed. Hi everyone, if you're enjoying the video, I would really appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe button. Going inside the Capitol, visitors must first go through security, but then you walk into the rotunda, which showcases the interior dome, which rises 218 feet from the ground. It provides access to the entire building and features portraits of former governors and presidents of the Republic of Texas on its walls. The floor is decorated with the seals of the 6 nations that have governed Texas. These include Spain, France, Mexico, Republic of Texas, Confederate States of America, and the United States of America. Walking up this beautiful grand staircase, I'm led to the Texas House of Representatives chamber. The chamber was restored to its 1909 appearance. The chamber has 2 large brass chandeliers that were custom designed when permanent electric lighting was installed in 1890. The original San Jacinto battle flag hangs behind the speaker's rostrum. A reproduction is used when the legislature is not in session, so the original can be preserved in darkness. The reason for my trip to Austin was to ride the Tipsy Train. The Austin Steam Train Association offers train excursions with different themes. The Tipsy Train excursion I chose was adults only and offered drinks during the ride. They do have other rides throughout the year for all ages. I explored their museum as I waited for the train to arrive, and it wasn't long before I heard the whistle blowing and went out to capture this restored engine and cars roll in. My seat was in the Silver Pine car. Built in 1948, it was part of the fleet used in service on the California Zephyr, a joint venture between three railroads. The original California Zephyr ceased operation in 1970, and the route was taken over by Amtrak in 1971. The car was originally constructed as a 16-section sleeper, but in 1964 was rebuilt into a 48-seat coach with the 2-2 configuration. Let's take a quick look at some of the other cars while we wait for the train to pull out. I wasn't able to get video of the entire train, so be sure to check out their website and their YouTube channel linked in the description below for more information and history on this train. I had tried to get tickets for some of their private compartments, but unfortunately they were sold out.
Rio Grande had one train set which included coaches, sleepers, dome cars, and such, and this was part of the Rio Grande's train set. When Amtrak came along, the Rio Grande said they weren't going to join Amtrak, so they ran what they called the Rio Grande Zephyr from Denver to Salt Lake City. Meanwhile, Amtrak ran the train from Salt Lake City through Cheyenne down to Denver and bypassed it. But that kept up for about 10 years, and then they joined Amtrak, but by then the superliners were out.
The train route ends at the Bertram Depot, built in 1912. The engine is moved from one end of the train to the other to pull the train back to the beginning of the route. Not long after the train pulled out of the station, the sleeper car attendant came by to see if I wanted to eat. I followed him into an empty dining room. It was disappointing not to see the white tablecloths and flowers on the tables or other passengers enjoying their meals. However, the flexible menu item I chose was good. Okay, so let's get a tour of one of Amtrak's Superliner bedrooms. So this is what it looks like when you're first walking into it. Of course, you have the door that will close here. It does not have an outside lock, but it does have an inside lock. You have your own little sink inside here, and you have a plug here. This will turn off the mirror light and back on again. So then you have your water that comes out, hot and cold water. Up here, you have a cabinet that has washcloths, Kleenexes. You have some soap here, bar soap, cups here. Down here is your trash can. And you come on around here. So normally they have a chair in them. This room is missing its chair here. You have the pull-out table. So this just pulls up, pulls down like this, and you can open it up on both sides. So you can have meals in your room. You could do your work on it, play a game, whatever you want to do. Just have this little extra table, and just to put it back, you just fold it back up like this, and then down again. And then you have your couch where you can have two people sitting here, or or even more than that. Then you have your bedroom up, your bunk bed up here, and I will show you that in a moment. So this is the bunk bed right here, and this mattress here will actually come down, and this will fold down into a bed, and so then you'll have the bed down here to use. So in here you have your wet shower. So it's a combination of a toilet and shower together. So you have your shower head up here, and it can be a little tight, but it's sufficient. So to turn it on is you pick your step one, you turn it to the temperature you want, and then you push the button for the water. And then down here is your toilet paper, and of course it has this lid that you can use to cover that up. And then you have your different shampoos, conditioner, and body wash here. So this is the shower. The train arrives back to San Antonio ahead of schedule. It's been a long but enjoyable day of trains and sightseeing, making for a great Sunday fun day. With the Towers of America shining bright in the background, my Uber pulls up and I head home. Thank you for watching. This is Soloing Alone.